Hey guys, welcome to the HVAC Diaries and to my kitchen. I don't really have a space like a workstation or anything like that to film these videos at, which is why a lot of my vlogs are in my truck. But today I needed some space, some table space. So this is going to be a pretty quick and short video. It is in response to one of the comments that I got on my last week's vlog about the thermistors out of the Fujitsu unit. Thermistors. I always mispronounce things, so. Now, full disclosure, I will say that we don't have a lot of exposure to Fujitsu systems. We are very familiar with LG and Samsung, but Fujitsu isn't a brand that we touch very often. So when we called tech support with our problem and they suggested that we replace all of the thermistors, we were like, yeah, we'll do that on your recommendation. Also, because they range in price from like $7 to, I think the most expensive one was like 23 bucks or something. So it was worth it just to replace them and not to worry about testing them and all of that. So that's what we did. But the comment that I got was, did you ohm out the thermistors? And I'm going to do that with you right now. Also, because I think it's really interesting to see the way a thermistor works if you haven't yet. Maybe you've learned about them, but you haven't actually seen one yourself. I always learn much better if I can see something over the theory. Also, very cool is this thermistor, or these four thermistors, are NTC thermistors, negative temperature coefficient, which means as the temperature rises, the resistance decreases, or opposite way, as the temperature decreases, the resistance increases. And that's opposite to a PTC, positive temperature coefficient. That's when both of them rise and lower together. As the temperature rises, so does the resistance. And as it drops, so does the resistance. But these ones are opposite. And I'm going to show you. So I grabbed the service manual for the system that we were working on there, and I printed the page with the thermistor values on it. And as you can see, they're right there. So what they do is they give you different temperatures and the resistances. So you can you can measure the resistance and then figure out if you're nearby in the ambient air. So say I've got values for like 50 degrees Fahrenheit, 59, 68 degrees. So on a 68-degree day outside, we would expect to see 62.9 kilo ohms. Let's test it. In order to do this testing, I just need a multimeter that has ohms on it, but also you need these needle nose leads. See, these regular leads are just too thick to go into the space. I need to get right in there, and it just doesn't go. Whereas these little needle nose guys, it'll go right in there, make contact. All right, so you're gonna need some of these tiny little needle nose leads. So we're gonna turn our meter to resistance, ohms. And let's start testing them. Each thermistor has got two connections in here, and that's where we're gonna test. We're gonna test the 1 and the 2 because that makes one thermistor. So we'll put our lead right there. Let's put this on this. It's a little awkward, but bear with me. Okay, lead number 1, lead number 2. And you can see here we've got 52.96, which compared with our list is pretty close. We're probably closer to 68 degrees here inside. So we're looking for about 62.9 ohms. Kilo ohms. And we've got 52.71 on that one. Let's do the next one. So there's 1, 2, we're gonna do 3 and 4 now. 3 and 4. We got 54.6 there. 5 and 6. 53.11. And then 7 and 8. 52.9. All right, so now we know that these values are pretty close to what's happening here. because I have this and I'm playing around with it, it's interesting to see the values change as the temperatures change. To demonstrate, I have this glass of water. It's just cold tap water. And I'm going to show you the difference in temperature, or actually how it rises. It's going to be a little awkward, I think, on the video, but let's see what we can do. So we're going to do the red one, which is the very first one, the red one. So we'll take the red one just to separate them. And let's put our leads on, oops, let's get that away from the glass. Our leads are going to go number 1 and number 2. Click. And there's our 52 again. Okay, so now we're going to take this guy and we're going to put this in the cold glass of cold water, and we're going to watch the resistance rise. It goes up pretty quickly. How neat is that? Now we're going to take it out of the water. And it should calm down in a little bit. But for testing purposes, I'm going to put it in my warm hand. And it goes back down. The higher the temperature, the lower the resistance. And the lower the temperature, the higher the resistance. How cool is that? That is so cool. So there you go. Now you've seen how an NTC thermistor works. And now I've seen that this thermistor, or all 4 of these, are still good to go. So we're going to keep this as a spare. We'll start a little Fujitsu box and keep these as a spare. But yeah, very cool little exercise to do with you. Thank you for watching. See ya!